want to do here is create a formula by using date related formulas to calculate out the years of service that each of these employees have given to the organization. They have a data hire column that I'm going to utilize, but I'm also going to utilize today's date. But I'm going to do it with a formula. The formula is today. It's a today function. And just so you know, on the formulas tab of the ribbon, there's a function library group giving you the different categories of the different functions. And there's actually over 400 functions available. So you can see there's a lot of date related formulas. I'm going to be using two. I'm going to use a year and the function today. So on this F4, I'm going to say equal Y. I'm going to double click or tab on year because I want to get years of service as my answer. I want it to take today's date. So I'm going to type TO. I'm going to double click on today. I'm going to close that off with a right paren. And I have to give it another right paren. And the reason I do is because I'm using two functions. I'm using year, which needs its own left and right, but I'm using today, which needs its own left and right, which is required to create a formula. So I'm basically saying I want the year from today's date. I'm going to subtract it from the year. I'm going to do year again, but I want it from their data hire. So basically I'm saying take today's date, subtract their data hire. If I don't do year, it's going to give me days. I want years, so I'm using a function to do that for me. I'm going to close that off at the right paren. I'm going to control enter. And because it's a date formula, it gives you a date. But that's just formatting. So I can go to the home tab of the ribbon. In the number group, click on the drop down for date, and I can simply say general. So this first person has been there for 29 years. I can copy that formula down for the other employees because I used functions. I used the today as a answer in the formula. I'm going to double click on my fill handle. It will copy it all the way down for the other employees. So built into Excel are a lot of different types of functions. If functions, there's lookup functions, there's subtotal functions, there's date related, text related, etc. As a matter of fact, I want to actually fill out the extension for each of these employees, but I'm not going to do it with a formula. I'm going to look at G, column G, where it has the office location. And the office location has the building the employee works in, a code for the building, and the last four numbers is their phone extension. I want the computer to populate their phone extension in column H. What I need to do is give it the first one. Then the computer will follow my pattern. So I'm going to type in Erica Decker's phone extension is 2099 coming from column G. I'm going to control enter. Then I'm going to go to the data tab of the ribbon. And in the data tools group, I'm going to click this icon called flash fill. Once I click it, it follows my pattern and it will copy those last four digits from column G all the way down the list. So as long as you give it a correct pattern, it's going to look to the right, it's going to look to the left, and it sees that value of whatever it is. It can automatically populate it for you. Let me give you another example of that. In column I want to have the computer look at that office location column and put in the name of the building that each employee works in. So I'm basically separating this data. So I'm going to give it the first one. I'm going to type lab, L-A-B. I'm going to control enter. I'm going to click the flash fill again, and it's automatically going to populate all of the building names. going all the way down. So we get labs, central, central, HQ, etc., going all the way down. Excel is a very smart program, but I don't think we let the computer do enough work. We manually do things a lot, and we don't have to. We can let the computer do all of that for us. One more example on this flash fill to show you the true power of what this can do. In column A, I'm going to go to A4. And what I want to populate is coming from columns B and C. You can see that there's the last name and first name, and the text is uppercase. As a matter of fact, I exported this out of an AS400, and for some reason, it was set up to have their names capitalized. So I want them to be proper casing, and I want it to actually be first name space last name. I'm going to type it the way I want it. I'm going to put in Erica space Decker, capitalizing the first letter of both names. I'm going to control enter. I'm going to click flash fill from my data tab, and it automatically will follow my pattern.